me introduce myself. My name is Alida, 19 years old, and I'm a dreamer rich kid. Half a year ago, I got acquainted with a guy named Basil through social media and started a relationship with him. The information I knew about him was completely self-introduced by him to me while chatting. He was a final year university student, but he also worked a part-time job by going to the cafes to sing in his spare time. His family is doing a business in a neighboring province to where I live. Besides singing well, he also has many talents such as playing the guitar, being knowledgeable about technology, and knowing how to craft the psychology of people. Thanks to those things, plus his handsome appearance, he easily conquered a girl who loves romance like me. My parents did not approve of my relationship with Basil. It wasn't because he got something they didn't like, but they simply expected me to focus on studies. Only the fact that Basil made the daughter fall in love early and wasted studying time was enough to cause them to dislike Basil at first meetings. I had to struggle with them for a while to officially date with Basil. But it seems that my parents were not at all comfortable with our relationship, even though it was not as forbidden as before. However, Basil knew how to please my parents. Knowing that my father was a businessman, he often started the conversation with market economy stories and discussed vigorously with my father. Basil always showed his admiration to the achievements of my father's company. My mother also started to like Basil when he showed off his cooking skills every time he came to visit my house. Since then, my parents had gradually grown fond of Basil. Before, he was only allowed to meet me when I was at school and hang out with me on weekends. But then things had already changed. He could visit my family regularly. The good changes in the relationship between Basil and my family made me extremely happy. I was contented as my love relationship had been acknowledged, much of which I was proud of choosing the right person. My boyfriend not only loved me, but also made my family satisfied. Realizing his talents as well as wanting to help him more in his work, my father gave him more information about the company's business. He was attending an economics university after all. With this momentum, I thought that there were many possibilities that he would join in my family's company after graduation. As I expected, Basil was easily recruited into the company. My father also paid a corresponding remuneration and also treated him extremely kind. Family weekend meals would often include him, and my parents seemed to consider him as a family member. I was glad, since it made our love even more salty. If this was the end of my story, everyone would be pleasant because of its happy ending. But I actually was not destined with such a happy fairy tale. The curiosity of a woman when in love helped me to discover a formidable secret. On one weekend that Basil came to my house as usual. While I was preparing for him a glass of orange juice, Basil was attentively texting. And later he forgot to lock his phone and went to the toilet. The sound of the incoming messages still rang. I didn't pay attention at first, but then I became curious to see who the sender was. The conversation started with his friend's greeting. "Hey, Basil, how's your progress?" "Pretty convenient. I've had my day so and graduated, but not yet grabs many important jobs. Mr. Esso is my father." "Why does it take so long? You have to find a quick way to get all the information from that company to move on to another business deal." "I know that. Have you signaled with Adam Company yet?" "Adam is one of my company's major competitors." "Just wait for you to get the documents and proceed with the transaction. The price of Adam is very high, enough to pay your family debt." "I know that." "Well, how are you with that girl? Still doing well?" "Yeah, Alida and I are doing great. She's cute and kind." "Don't forget our purpose. I guess that stupid girl would have never expected this. Let's meet again next weekend." Yes, those were the only messages I could read before Basil left the toilet. That moment I was in extreme pain. I never felt like failure and as bad as that day. His purpose is to steal my father's company confidential business information for personal gain. It turned out that he had set everything up from the start. I was finally just a part of his vile plot. But what should I do? I really love Basil. Should I give him a chance to explain, or silently report this to my father? My father will definitely tell the police to arrest Basil for investigation. I am so confused at the moment. Someone please give me some advices.